been a very busy month of May, very different months of May and April for all the coaches, assistant coaches and coaches around the country right now as the calendar of when we work, how we work evolves. But we're extremely busy May, and I'm going to be home this weekend. It will be the first weekend home probably since the in August, last August. So it's really been just a busy time, but very productive. I've learned a lot, and we are really excited about this roster we have for next year. I mean, really excited. So that's it. I'll grab any questions anybody has from anyone.
Can you talk first about the mutual decisions, DJ and Mo?
Yeah, it was my job. I think our job is to give them as much information as possible, give them the probabilities involved, and then embrace their decision. Sometimes we may look at their reaction sometimes and have to maybe say again, all right, you do understand the probabilities here. And then once we're sure that they understand all the implications of a decision either way, right, then you just got to step back and embrace it, because it's not going to work if you're forcing people either way, either out or in. So we did that and really satisfied the way it all came out.
John, how does this compare? I mean, you've had a few guys leave early, during the past handful of years. How did this kind of compare when you excuse me, when you were talking to them, as far as you mentioned the probabilities and staying or going? Was it?
Well, it's no, that's a great question. It's very, very different because of the testing the waters aspect now. That I think when the guys, if we start all the way back to Manny Harris, but Darius Morris, all those guys, we were just dealing with speculation, evaluation, reports. They weren't actually going to work out and meet with pro teams. So what this was involved, because the agents are out of it, we are the contact team for every NBA team. We talk with all 38 NBA teams probably at one time or another. Between Sadie Washington and I both did. So it was very different. It was like, I think the pro teams are used to working with guys declare. There's agents to work with, and everybody's doing their thing. We're used to, all right, they're either in or out, and then you go on and you recruit your next team. This is a different deal. This is a month of us being the conduit to information. So it was very different.
How does, if I could flip that, how does that affect you? Because in the past, you knew, okay, they declared. Now you have that month waiting period. And
yeah, for some reason, it didn't really concern me a great deal. I just figured, knowing that every year that we've had a scholarship left over, virtually almost every year we've had a scholarship left over, and then it's like there'll be guys out there if they both go or one goes, or this year we had 11 guys on scholarship, or 12 guys on scholarships, and one of them, right, was ineligible. Now we were injury free, which was really important, but it was, what are you going to do? I'm not going to take their scholarship away, so you can't even fret about it. And we couldn't, there were some candidates out there that we would say, this is a possibility, right? But you got to be patient. We're not giving their scholarships away.
I think Mo said that you kind of had like a list of reasons to stay to present to him and talk about. Did you have the same for DJ?
Yeah, we gave him the exact same thing. There was data that you could. There was different data that's different. It was not a list of reason stays. It was the information that we had gathered. It was the probabilities, the feedback, and we gave that to him. So Mo probably interpreted that as a list of reasons to stay, a probability, and DJ saw that differently. So it is exactly what it is there.
And when and how did you learn from DJ that this was going to be his? How'd that play out?
We've been talking the whole time. We talked at the combine. We talked again, and then Sadie and I flew out there on Monday. Flew out and back in the same day just to sit down with him and his mom and make sure that eye to eye everybody understood everything. And and he made his decision Tuesday and Wednesday. He made the final decision.
So they called and told you?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the final
Yeah.
decision? Okay.
You saw Mo take a jump first year to this year. Where will he gain the most in this coming year, you think?
All I know is going into it, he has the right attitude. That when a guy has, Karras was in that situation, Glenn and Mitch were in this situation. I think Tim, Trey were all in this situation where they probably could have gone out, but they decided to remain in Michigan. I sense that same, probably even more enthusiasm for coming back from Mo right now. He wants to be more of a leader. He really values his experience here. He values the degree from Michigan. And he's coming from a different mindset. He could have gone pro right away. A lot of his peers that he plays with in Germany, they don't go to the United States to play. So he's got a real vision there. He's young, and he's been here 2 years. He just loves it here. And DJ did as well. DJ just felt that they're coming from two different situations, and DJ felt this was a good time to go.
What kind of feedback did Mo get from teams?
Yeah, I can't. It's all confidential. They won't. I'm not supposed to divulge any of those things. But some of the draft. Are you talking about what he has to do?
Yeah.
I would talk about that. That both of them need to get stronger. Both of them need to continue to have consistencies to their game. That was the biggest thing. Get stronger. Just skill level, skill development. The whole things that we do. And I think that the NBA teams are in a bind because I think they probably, all the general managers wish almost every player would just stay in college longer so they could get a better read on who they are. But they're forced to make some really crazy decisions on 18, 20-year-old kids that there isn't enough information to make really informed decisions. Their jobs are on the line too. So that's the general consensus of most general managers and the directors of scouting, et cetera, that all these kids should stay longer. But the fact is they're not, so they adapt.
What's your assessment of the forward position without, they're the hole that DJ
Yeah, I mean, we recruited Isaiah Livers for this, but Duncan is, I saw Duncan the next day excited for him. That this is a great opportunity for him, and knowing DJ's emergence, playing the four was Duncan would back up there probably next year, but DJ was here, but play some 2 or 3. We needed him to do what he did this year, but probably more because Zach would be gone. But now I'm really comfortable with that. Where we lose in some areas, we could gain in some areas. So and I think Duncan understands right now that he just can't stand in the corner and get open because they aren't going to leave him open. How do you get open? He needs to watch Kyle Korver over and over and over again. Yeah, he stands in a corner, but at other times he's running 100 miles an hour around the court to get open. So he understands that, and he's driven right now. Duncan is so driven right now, and this just added to it, I think.
Playing 2 bigs as you had was an unusual thing at least since you've been in Michigan because he was so tall. Now does it look more like one of your other teams?
I think it depends on the situation, but Mo has, as you remember, I think he was playing there for a little bit his freshman year. The issue will always be, well, how is the other team? You are who you can guard, and can either one of those bigs, any of those 3 bigs, guard on the perimeter. And I do not think at this time the 2 freshmen or rising sophomores can do that. Mo has a chance there, but that's still a new thing. But DJ was just learning to really do it at the end of last year. It is difficult for a big kid to chase, and more people play small than they play big. So you could dominate them with 2s, but they could kill you with 3s. So it's a difficult choice.